Thank you for being with us today. And we're celebrating International Women's Day. We are really pleased to have you in our class, the Unleashed class of 2024. And could I ask you to introduce yourselves and your startups?
So I'm Aline Lex, coming from Brazil. Excited to be here today talking about our journeys as women founders. I'm the founder of Zazu, the go-to app for all pet-related needs.
My name is Susan Greneveld and founder of Sylvester AI, and we're based in Canada. But our technology allows you to take a picture of a cat's face and know whether they may be in pain or not.
Also very, very excited to be here, especially here in beautiful Switzerland. So I'm Athena. I am the co-founder of Zoom Vet. We are a Singapore-based tech-enabled veterinary service. And what we're trying to do is to create borderless access to veterinary care.
This is so awesome to have such a diverse group of women from all over the world who are founders of successful startups. So I'd like to ask you, what inspired you to start your own pet startup? And what kind of a unique approach do you think you bring as a female founder?
I come from the financial market, and what inspired me was my own experience as a pet mother. We were very frustrated with the kind of treatment we had for Mel, our dog. And I realized there was like an opportunity to bring a new solution, tech-enabled and making lives easier for everybody. So I think we as mothers, women, we are much more concerned about wellness, health, and education. So we are the ones that are making these decisions at home because we are aware of the problems we have in the journey. So this was the main inspiration, and we feel that 80% of our clients are women. Mm-hmm. And we know what they are facing as difficulties in their journey, and we are very oriented to provide wow experience.
So based in North America, my inspiration, it's very much a male-female kind of consideration where cats were often the underdogs when I was working with multinationals in pharmaceuticals. So it was very much a dog market. And so we cared about cats until there was a big blockbuster dog product. And that really got me wondering why we weren't doing more for cats. And, you know, here we are in Europe where this is very much a much more cat-friendly part of the world. But the trend now is to have more cats as pets than dogs. And we can see that into the future. So what inspired us was how could we help the species that is much like women, underrepresented. We tend to be less vocal about our needs. A lot of the research, even in human health, has been around male research. And now as we see more females coming into it, there's more opportunity for female products. And so we see cats a lot the same as women, where we can do a lot more for the species. The other thing I think from a female perspective is we're more collaborative by nature. And for this species, because it's 10,000 years less domesticated, they're quirky. And so we don't understand them that well.
I can identify with that as a cat parent.
They're very quirky. And so to that, we need everyone to be thinking, to lean in, to really think about how to help the species. And as natural collaborators, this is what it's going to take to get better care for the species is a village of people. And I think we're naturally attuned to bring that together.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think my inspiration is quite similar to Susan's and Lean's, right? I have a cat named Siam, and I was a first-time pet owner when I got her. Not too long ago, and I started realizing some quirky behaviors, right? And we didn't have Sylvester at the time, so I had no idea what was going on. And my natural reaction to her peeing everywhere was, let's try different litter boxes, let's try different toys, let's try some pheromones. None of it worked. And it really took me about 6 months before I finally decided, maybe let's go to a vet. And it was there that she was diagnosed with a UTI. And it turns out that she had recurring UTIs. And if I had either some sort of AI solution, if I had some sort of telemedicine solution, we could have gotten there a lot quicker. And that's really why I started Zoom Vet, was just to make that type of care more accessible to users. And it wasn't until I got into the veterinary industry did I realize that a majority of vets in our region were actually female. And they also felt like the industry wasn't on their side. So it was very serendipitous. And Zoom Vet is run by 2 female co-founders. And we were really able to empathize and really try to understand what kind of work structure favored them, right? They wanted work-life balance. They wanted to be able to be autonomous in how they were deciding how to work. And we were able to really listen and create that environment for them.
And could you share a particularly rewarding milestone that you have achieved as a startup?
I mean, there are many, right? Both from a pet owner perspective and from a veterinary perspective. But I would really say that the biggest impact that we have made is really on the veterinary side. Most of our vets are actually female, and we're really proud of that. And many of them have made the decision to leave the industry for various reasons. Some of them had to raise their families. Some of them just really wanted a break. They were burning out. The hours were long. You're working with pet owners who don't always understand what you're trying to do, and definitely animals who don't appreciate what you're trying to do to them, right? So we really do offer them a lot of alternatives. And what we've seen and what we've enabled them to do, one vet actually was able to completely switch industries full-time and go back to school and to get her PhD. And we have another vet who was able to fulfill her lifelong goal of being able to try different diving spots around the world, right? So I think empowering these women, these vets, to do what they want to do in life, to be better vets, is something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, and we know that vets do have a hard time in their profession, so
Yes.
that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And Susan,
It's a really hard question. So I think, if I go really back to the beginning, our technology is a lot of pioneering because no one else is doing it. So when you're doing something no one's doing, you're thinking, why is no one else? Am I crazy? Is this? Why is no one else doing this? Or why have they not thought of this already? And so that moniker of crazy cat lady, we laugh about it, but also there's some, negative connotations to that, which we're also trying to unpack.
that is true.
But the point of it is, when we had our early MVP, Reuters actually found us and picked us up. And with one article in Reuters, we had 54,000 downloads of this technology in 1 week. And that told me that I wasn't crazy and that people really want this tech. And it isn't just a male, or female kind of thing, but we just want to know more about this species. That was truly empowering for me to know we were on the right track.
That is great. And Eileen, can you share a success story or?
We cover lots of points in the journey of a pet. So we have a very relevant business of bath and grooming. And one of our bath and grooming clients wanted to do like a preventive medical appointment. So our vet went there and realized the eyes were a little bit different than the usual, and decided to prescribe something to see if the eyes were getting better. And it was not the case. So then an ophthalmologist went to do the consultation and find out the dog was going blind. So he recommended surgery, and it was a very successful surgery that prevented the dog to not to get blind. So this is like a beautiful success story, because preventive care is not very present in pet parents' mind. And it's so important.
It is.
Because it prevents physical damage, financial impacts, and also psychological things, because, losing someone that is like a family member is so hard. And sometimes diseases are quiet. We don't realize the dog or the cat is ill. We just think it's a changing behavior, and actually it's not.
Right.
He's feeling pain, he's not well, he's not changing the behavior, it's just that he's unable to talk. So I think one of the main purpose of our journeys is to increase preventive care, and we were able to do that in this situation, so I'm very proud of it.
That is brilliant. These are such powerful stories that you have shared. So I can tell you what I'm most proud of. I'm most proud of the classes we have, the startups we have in Unleashed, and to having people like you who have got such a passion.
We are so lucky that you find and chose us.
And finally, I'd like to ask you what kind of advice you would have for upcoming females who would like to start their own pet startup companies?
Stick to your beliefs. The day-to-day is very challenging, but in the medium to long run, things will pay off. Don't romanticize that much because it's hard, it's challenging. You've got to have lots of resilience. Keep the goal in mind and the big dream in order to survive and get things done. Because sooner or later, we'll get to the place we want to be.
I also concur with everything that you're saying. And whatever, it's like everything in life, whatever you think it's going to be, that's not it. So you really have to be purposeful when you come into it. And I think take all the feedback, because you are going to get more unsolicited feedback than the men founders, because everyone thinks that they're being helpful and they'll want to give you advice. Take it all, but that doesn't mean you have to use it. So really stick to your guns, because people will want to take you as a project. And that's really not why we're here. And so I think foundationally, you have to really believe why you're doing it and listen hard. But surround yourself with really smart people that have high expertise, and they will help mold the journey. But in the end, you have to make the decisions, and you have to do it from a place that's not emotional, but you're using all the facts that you can.
So my advice would be for women to know their worth. I think that's really quite important. I've seen that a lot of them tend to give things away for free. And, as any entrepreneur, male or female, you need to know the value of what you bring to the table. And so always just remind yourself, what Aline was saying, to have conviction in what you're doing and knowing that other people will appreciate the work that you're putting in. The other part of it, similar to what Susan was saying, is to support other women. I think that's really quite important, right? There's always a give and a take, and community is always very important. And what I found value is having a social network around me of women that have done great things, to see what they've given back to the community, and to really take their lead and their influence, just to make sure that we are in a safe space and we're providing what we can, just to make sure that other people succeed as well.
Great words of wisdom from 3 female founders. And one last question. What do you do to relax?
Something that I've actually picked up last year was meditation, but meditating in a way where I'm still actively moving. So something that I really enjoy is Qigong.
Similar.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, similar. I started actually Kriya Yoga. And Kriya Yoga is really a practice where you can be in meditative state, but you don't have to leave this state. So you can do both.
I think founders have the challenge similar to a high-performance athlete, in the sense that we have to be in different fields and always challenged to be performing in high standards. So I think we have to have our exits and our relaxation and whatever things contribute to mental and physical health. So what I tried to do is to not give up on things that are very important for my balance. And this is Pilates twice a week, reading books to my children before they go to bed, going out with Mimi, my dog, every day for a while, and having good moments with family in general. Be present in moments and things that are important to us.
I think it's really important that you have got this work, play, balance. Thanks for all your wisdom. Thank you for celebrating International Women's Day with us. And good luck.